What's up, everyone? This is your boy Ceddy J. You're now tuning into Ceddyjdusk Live with your boy Ceddy J Does. All right, and we're live right here on inspireradio.com. That's inspired with a three, not an E. I got my very special guest in the building, my girl. Drum roll, please. Koa. What's up, Koa? So, Koa, it's a pleasure to have you. You've been doing a lot of stuff between cosplay, modeling, and you have a level of consistency when it comes to that. So, I gotta give my hats off to you first off on that. Dope work that
Yeah.
I'm constantly seeing. So, start off the back. What is the? Because I'm like Koa. Not hear some of these names. I'd be having to find out where did Koa come from.
Well, Koa, I actually had that name for about, I'll say about 14 years. It actually started as a mistake because people were calling me Coco, and then other people were calling me Koa Koa. But used to do live streaming, and gaming.
Ah,
So I got the name from there, and Koa means warrior. So that's how I got my name. I'm a warrior.
wait a minute.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to ask because that makes some sense now because a lot of stuff you do, like the cosplay stuff, is always warrior based. That's crazy. Like
Yeah.
now everything now I just like that just opened up a whole new can of worms or somebody even just like realized you just put that in my face.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what it's tied to. I would always have swords all the time. So a lot of my old work, I used to do a lot of knife play or different things with swords. So yeah, it also helped with the background of being Koa.
So do you collect knives and swords too?
Yes, I collect all types of swords and I like to do different types of martial arts fighting. Um, just those all of those things under that umbrella.
Okay. That's what's
Mhm.
up. So getting to the modeling side, like first off, when did you decide you want to start modeling, and was it something that you always wanted to do?
Actually, when I very first started modeling, I was a little baby. I was a little kid and I used to do pageants. So I did pageants, I would walk runways for a while, do different fashion shows. And I guess for me, since I started doing it early on,
Okay.
it was pretty natural for me. And it was something that was like a safe space for me. Um, so along the way, it introduced me to other things where I was able to start doing acting. So when I was a child, I was starting to, branch out doing child acting, do commercials and all of those things. And it was just always something that I loved to do. I didn't really know if it was something that I wanted to be a career though. Initially because of it being my safe space, it was just something that was a passion of mine that felt comforting. So I used to feel like if I was to turn that into a career, then I could take basically like the fun out of it and like not be the same. But then I just changed my approach on it and I got back out there. I was able to do special effects makeup, so I would do different things with working with others, and we would do different trades. And as I was building back up on my confidence after being a young adult, trying to figure out like exactly what I want to do, kind of threw myself back out there. I traveled around, I've been to different states, and I would just pour into meeting other creatives who like to as well, model or even if it's short films or anything that has a creative base, I love to include myself part of that. And it has a lot of self-expression for me. And I feel like I
Okay.
can express myself through my art and my modeling. Um, yeah, that's kind of it is for me.
Okay. Well, yeah, definitely. Well, I know. Yeah, then you say you did it as a child, so that's pretty
Mhm.
good. Like, what would you say? So I'm gonna focus on each different part first. Let's go with modeling first. Then we'll move to the other two. Modeling first off. What would you say is what was it the toughest challenge you would say that you had in modeling so far?
The toughest challenge, I would say my toughest challenges would also be like big moments for me. One of the examples being so I want to say this was actually last year. Last year, one of my challenges were it was my first time being in a place where I was in a different setting of different people. Um, so I'm from Alabama, so I was used to, having just our culture just around me. But with this, I was the only woman of color that was there.
Oh,
And I was so proud. So I was very nervous. Um, I didn't know anyone that was on set, but I did have a friend who introduced me, to the photographer and to the full opportunity. So in that moment, although it was very challenging, I did have a lot of side eyes, a lot of snickering, people just saying little things, but I didn't let that bother me. And I showed who I am, and what I can bring to the table. And I was in that moment, I was also able to show my friend, who's also a person of color, she's native, but I was also able to show her how to bring yourself into a room and really show up and not let anyone make you feel like you don't belong. And I was very extremely nervous in the beginning, but that was something that I did really well. And at the end, I ended up making friends with everyone, and then everyone's meant to be surrounded. So I was just really happy to be in that moment, and that also ultimately helped me so that I can expand and be in um, other settings and other environments.
yes, sir. So yeah, because that and not as because that was a question I was wondering too, because what you just answered for me, was where you're from, because like when you look at your list or your bio on Instagram, you got like 10 states there. I'm like, she said she did stuff in Arizona. You're in Texas now.
Yeah,
I like, where the heck is she? Yeah. So
yeah,
Alabama is the magic answer.
yeah.
All
I
right,
move around
so
pretty frequently, but my home state is Alabama.
uh, where Forrest Gump is from.
I was say,
So yeah, you from Forrest Gump home state, Alabama.
everybody always say that.
I mean, it's the most famous. I mean, okay, besides Martin Luther King, it's the most famous thing.
It is. It is. And those are usually the first two things they either ask me about that or for some reason they ask if we walk around our street. So I'm like, what's not that country?
Okay, so as far as like
uh
so move to cosplay. When did you when did you start doing cosplay, and why? And as far as definitely, because you say cosplay to another black person, they look at you like you done lost your darn mind. So
yeah.
so explain how you got to cosplay, because I mean I'm as a person that every year for Halloween I'm damn near a superhero every year. It's Halloween
Yeah.
if people act weird. So cosplay is something that's year round. How do you get around that space, especially being black?
So for me, I've always been a person that went against the norms or was just outside of those things. So I was always like, doing different costumes, or I would be deemed as the weird girl, wearing rings that had beetles, or, like all types of stuff, like just to show art. That's me. So it was kind of easy to just get into that. I really never cared about what others thought. But what really got me into it was when I started doing special effects makeup, and then I started to be in those spaces a lot. So I was able to do like makeup for The Walking Dead and Night of the Living Dead when I was about 18, 19. And being in those areas, like I said, remember it was about the acting as well. So I wanted to start doing cosplay, but at the time, I didn't really see many people doing it, especially people who look like me. So I was a little bit nervous. And then when I would see others who would do it, I was a little bit nervous because I feel like a lot of people start making it a sexual thing. It's like a kink, and I was nervous to be looked at in that way because I felt like it was a misrepresentation of who I was when just loved this character, loved this show, and now people are turning it into a different thing. Um, so I want to say when I finally got out of my nerves, it was maybe about 2 years ago, but I did get nervous and I took down the post because people did start making it into exactly what I didn't want it to be.
What's it?
So I
What's y'all? What's your
saw,
untry?
yeah, yeah. So then I gave it another try, and this was actually last year. I went to a photo shoot. And it was supposed to be in the woods, but I was hey, I asked the photographer, "Are you okay if I like be a witch or like a fairy or something?" And she was totally fine with it. So then we changed it into a fairy and witch theme shoot and it became a big group shoot and I felt so welcomed in the community. Everyone was so nice. I was nervous because this was my first cosplay, but I felt so happy, so alive. And I felt like I wanted to bring this out because like I said, there are a lot of other people of color who will, you have two sides. So you either have our community who will look at you and be looking at you like weird, like you're weird, and then you have the other side where in my experiences, what I would see is you have people that are not, black, and they will tell you that basically you do not belong and tell you that you cannot do cosplay because to make it seem like we're identifying the whole thing, and it's like we're just sharing our love for it and not really taking over. But it comes with a lot of negative comments sometimes. But I do feel like it's needed to have that self-expression and to show that Black people come in a bunch of different forms. Don't have to limit us into put us into a certain box to where this is what Black people do and this is not what Black people do because I feel like it's not fair to a lot of us and it causes a lot of judgment and misunderstanding to those people where they feel like they're not comfortable to even just live their lives or express themselves the way that they would like. So I'm very happy to see all of the new creators that are out there who are not caring. Shout out to
Exactly.
Dishery is one of my favorites. Love her. But yes, I just love seeing Black faces in it and loving to see their confidence and just like I said, in those realms and knowing that no one's discomfort can push you out.
Yeah, especially like I said, like in Houston, they have BlurCon coming, and it's just that's how you know it's trying to become, I guess, more accepted because now you have all these different. Before you just had the main conferences, but now we're having ones where it is focusing on Black folks doing this, and it is well organized.
And
Like
now
you
we're
said,
having more Black animes too, so it's even more Black anime
yeah.
coming out. So I love that. I love the representation. We need more representation in a lot of different areas, including that. So yes, I'm all the way
But
for it.
But if you think about it, think about a lot of. I mean, I'm about to get real. I guess you can say I'm about to get real deep. But if you think about a lot of like the other cosplay outfits, a lot of them are from Black culture in some sense. I mean, I'll be here doing a history lesson about what a Black samurai is. I don't want to get started on that because then everybody starts, oh my god,
Right,
I
they'll
need a
try to make
longer
it
show
seem
for
like we're
that.
being political. I was definitely gonna bring that up too, because I'm like, y'all can't act like, that we don't have our own lane that's in there. When I was growing up, I used to love to watch different animes, and my dad is very pro-black. So, like example, if I like to watch Samurai Jack, my dad would cut that off and make me watch Afro Samurai instead.
Yeah,
But
cause
I love
my dad was just talking about that with He Man, because he was talking about like you know the He Man when you see you in the movie. That's really a derivative of a black culture icon. Just like
yeah.
you start on Hey Rude. Yeah, don't get me started. Don't get me started. I'll have a history lesson on today's show.
Exactly, and we're everywhere, so it's really
Yes.
not
We're
fair
not
to be like,
monolithic. Black
"Oh,
people be listening like we can't listen to a country. We can't listen. Oh, here they come stealing country. Here they come stealing rock. And I'm
alright,"
like,
and we
every
all
time
know
we
who the
get
blueprint
involved with something, it
is.
gets some flavor.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like we can create it and then they'll take it and make it into their own. But as soon as we remind people of who the blueprint is, then like, oh, you're getting political or you're doing this and doing that or y'all your own everything. And it's not that. It's just a matter of fact.
Exactly. Exactly. Okay, so all right, so first we have to cosplay. We talk about the modeling,
Mhm.
and of course you shared a lot because the acting you kind of like shared through all this. So we did focus on the tough aspects. What as far as like helping modeling progress, like what's like two big suggestions you have of making modeling and progress more and just continue to survive?
Do you mean as far as like in a career sense?
Yeah, like in a real sense, as far as from your personal aspect of there's something experience you went through, what could you see getting better? And especially now we're in a world we got social media, we got
Mhm.
AI, which woo. Well, how can you,
Oh,
yeah,
the
because the AI thing
AI.
is man making it
The
real hard in these
AI
streets.
is making it hard because I've been seeing a lot of people who feel like they would rather not go to a photographer and they would just create their pictures with AI. And I understand, budgets and everything, but it also makes it really hard for people who really are out there, doing their photography or being real creatives. It kind of takes away from a lot of things, including being social. Like, I don't know, the whole AI thing is just too much. That's a whole other thing. I will be going on and on and on about that subject alone.
I was just talking
um,
to a guy the other day. He was like, "Oh, I'm all gun ho for AI is supposed to be an additive. It's kind of like it's kind of like when you making some good Creole, you got to throw a little Tony Saturates, make it taste better. That's what AI is supposed to be. It's supposed to be a
it's
tool
taking
to help.
authenticity though. I
Cause
feel like
like
it
for
takes
instance, like
out
with graphic design, not everybody's a pro at graphic design, but they all the stuff looks the same. Is like is losing the art form. Yeah, we got
exactly.
automation, but we can't. Everybody logo look the same now. Everything
Hmm.
is like man, step it up. Like y'all losing the art and the authenticity of art.
Yeah. Yes. Heavily on that. I totally agree. But I feel like that's also when I look in reality, I feel like that's been the same thing as well, especially when ever since we've been having the wave of social media. I was reading something recently and they were talking about how modeling completely changed after now I don't know who started it, but they were saying it was Kylie Jenner and Kardashians, like when they first started like influencer work or showing that you can be a model and just do it online. And then that's kind of started the new wave of just not just modeling, but also with social media. So you have a lot of models who are able to pick up a lot of brands with just doing like social media things. But I feel like that's a very big difference in being a social media model versus being out in the field, like doing runways and, having to know your angles, having to know the art behind it, having to, meet with different people and having the different community or communications. Like, I feel like it changes a lot of things. It just really changes a lot. I still support, people. It's just not something that I would personally do. But for the models that's out there who do feel discouraged when they see, other models online, I say just don't even pay attention to it. Just keep going. Throw yourself out there. Everybody doesn't have to have, the Instagram body or the Instagram makeup. Like people need to still be true to themselves. You don't have to look like the next person because I feel like now they make it seem like, oh, you have to look like Ari or you have to look
Yeah.
like this person to be deemed as beautiful, and that's not fair 'cause everybody comes in different forms, and we can all express ourselves in different ways. So I feel like people should just remain to themselves. Don't be nervous. Anything that you feel like you can't do, I say do it. Anytime I feel like it's something that I cannot do, or I feel like it's gonna make me like nervous, I force myself to do it. And with doing that, it helps me to get into new rooms. I could have been thinking like whole time, like, oh, what if I'm not good enough to go to this runway, or what if I have such and such, and then I go and they love me, or they love certain things that are insecurities to me, but it's something that actually stands out for them. So you never know what you will get when you just go out there and push yourself. Uh, I just stay true to yourself and just keep going.
Yeah, people are their own worst enemies. They don't realize that they constantly beat themselves. Like you said, they're
Mm.
constantly beating themselves up, and before they go into a room, they can't hit the way they want to because they've already said to themselves they're not gonna be able to do it. One
And
thing
being yourself can
and I
take
would
you
say me
far.
personally from experience, my parents taught me like they gave I want and they don't necessarily they've taught me how to just own the moment and not
Mhm.
necessarily I don't who cares what the next person. That's why a lot of times I can like you seen the dance video of me and stuff. I go out there, people are like, oh, he's. It's like I don't. It's like yeah, I'm having a good time, and I love embracing other people to be themselves. But I don't really care that much. I'm just like I'm the living embodiment of the term. Dance like no one's watching, because
Yeah.
that's the problem too. Like I think that's why the section culture has gotten so big. A lot of people don't want to, especially in social media world too. Like you said, people don't
Mhm.
want to quote unquote embarrass themselves, but who the heck cares? You
Everyone's
know,
worried about what everybody else thinks. And people
perfection.
are always going to have something to say regardless. So just be you.
And I ain't saying I'm not saying I'm the best dancer in the world. I'm not singing
It doesn't matter.
I'm not out there trying to be the best dancer in the world. I have a good time and that
Mhm.
comes through. And a lot of people not
Exactly.
realizing it. Like God, that's how it's gonna come through. All right,
Mhm.
so I got two more questions for you then. Bam bam. So one, of course I'll be remiss if we don't get into this. That is about the shoot coming up. Your thoughts about the shoot coming up because I don't want to say too. For me, I want to say too much because I want people to
Which
kind of
one?
I want to leave
Because
some meat on the bone for them.
yes, I don't know which one. I'm excited about all of them. We have so many ideas that are out there, and I know we about to be blowing everybody away. I'm really excited for these. Like you said, I don't want to give away too much because I want to just, show it. I want y'all to see. Let the work speak for itself. But I am highly excited. I'm very happy that, we've come across each other. We were able to meet. I feel like I met someone that was like-minded. And I feel like we can do a lot of work together. I feel like we've been knowing you. I'm
Yes,
ready.
yes.
We're going so far, we will be doing even more things. Exactly. You're a great person, and I'm just happy to be here.
Well, yeah, and first appreciate you on that, and also too for people who don't know, the month of June for this year marks
Yeah.
10 years. 10 years of doing photography. And 10 years ago, well, 12 years ago, I said I'm not doing it. Then 11 years ago, I still said I wasn't doing it. And then I gave in 2 years ago. And me and people saying, you can do it, you can do it. So,
Yeah.
y'all, congratulations. You forced me into it. And here we are 10 years later.
Congratulations.
So,
Loving it for you.
I appreciate you being part of that journey because that's literally when we shoot, that's going to be a few days before it happens. So, I'm excited.
I'm
Um,
excited to have that moment with you.
This is my very, very last thing as far as advice you give out to models, give out to cosplayers, actors, actors. What would you say that what would be the main thing you would tell them they need to use as motivation to get into it and make it and make some waves with it.
For me, like I said, I feel like always believing in yourself and having, being true to yourself, having that authenticity will take you very, very far. Just never, there are going to be some days that are hard. It's not easy being a model. There are a lot of challenges, going up and down as well as being in cosplay. But that is everyday life. You're going to run into obstacles. So I say, still do it. Get out there. Sometimes what helps me is I, do my glamour work. I go and talk to myself, speak life into myself, tell myself, I can do it and how great I am. Remember your power that you have within you, and that will keep you moving. Never compare yourself to other people because comparing yourself to other people actually can be your downfall and can be holding you back because really you're trying to be someone else and that may work for them, but what may work for you could be something just, completely different. And whole time you're hiding that part of yourself and we may love it. We need to see that. We need, more creativity, more whimsy, more authenticity. Um, so yeah, just keep going and never get up. Put yourself out there, record yourself, throw it on the internet, and don't care about what anybody says. Just remember who you are.
I mean, we gotta give shout out to great sound advice. All right, so here in the show, it's still saying follow. Everybody says follow. That's kind of like cliche to me. We say stalk. Why do we say stalk? Because we use stalking in a good way here. That's because people who stalk you, they don't just follow you on social media. They comment, they like, they share your posts.
They
We
get
want,
word of
yes, we want stalkers. We want social media stalkers in the good
yeah.
way, that's the crazy way.
Yes, I
So,
love all my fuckers.
so what? Let everybody know how they can find you on social media.
Okay, so everyone can follow me on my main page is Koa underscore Morningstar 369. And you could also follow me on my backup, which is Koa underscore only backup. If you have TikTok, same handle.
All right, y'all. We gotta give a hand to our lovely guest, my girl Koa in the building.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, shout out to that, and shout out to my mom for making these lovely pins. This is my Harry Potter pin. So yes, she
Mm.
makes these. She crochets, which because she been crocheting a while. So she crochets too. She makes jewelry like she made man.
Oh, maybe we should
So
get teach
yes,
me.
I definitely. I give you need the information. I want to have my social media. Y'all know. Yeah, that's what we do. All right, well, we are rolling out again. Cole, thank you again for coming through the show.
Thank you for
And
having
y'all, we're going to roll out. Remind you, you have to follow me as well. Stalk me as well. Ceddyjdusk, that's CEDDYJDUSK. Pretty much find me everywhere using that handle. There's a Wonderful Life at the Dust Live. Find that too. Laser Focus Photos and the Human Chemist Mag. All those. Search them. You're going to find everything. Again, everybody, thank you for tuning in to a lovely, important new episode, new interview of Setting J Does Live. Every rolling around, remind you everything you do, no matter what you do, no matter how you do it, remember there's a J or there's a U, there is a way. Y'all tuned in to the episode of Setting J Does Live. Yeah. Peace.
me.